4, 3.
Welcome, everyone, and pull up a seat at the table. It is lunchtime in Rome. Tonight's episode 200 is entitled The Best of You. Tonight, we're excited to talk about all of those who sit at the table with us, most each and every week. Pull up a seat at the table and join us. First-time listeners, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or watch us live or later at youtube.com/lunchtimeinrome. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. And while there, you can take our relational needs questionnaire. Make sure to follow us on all social media. And it'd be great if you gave us a 5-star review. Jay, what's this podcast about?
Being alone is the worst, but you're never alone when you sit at the table with us at lunchtime in Rome. Good times aren't as good, and bad times are worse when you're all alone. Romans 12:15 says to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. That is how you keep people from being alone, and what we've been doing for almost 200 episodes. We demonstrate that in the first 15 minutes of the podcast. We talk about it for the rest. So while it may not be 12:15 in Rome, we're treating it like it is
Lunchtime in Rome. Man, it has been 200 episodes.
200. What have we done 200 times in our lives?
Breathe.
Barely.
Disc golf.
There you go. Yeah, that's, well,
I don't even know if I don't think I've hit 200.
I certainly haven't hit 200. I might have hit 12.
Jay's like, I've hit 200 at the church course.
Right. He's, yeah.
309.
Wow.
Documented.
Nice. It's amazing.
And then
Yeah.
all your throwing.
That's just
stuff.
Now you can't play again until we've reached 309 episoms, though.
Wrong.
Okay.
200 episodes, though.
I've thrown 200 times, that's for sure.
In a round.
On a 9-hole course.
I remember when we started talking about this. Then I remember when we met with this. And then I remember our first episode in November of 2018. We had a little ball microphone
Yeah, don't
that
go
the
back.
three of us sat around
You
and
guys
talked
sounded
into.
like you're talking into tin cans or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It was not it was not good.
And then we came through the COVID years. I mean, it is amazing to sit here and have 200 episodes.
It's been 4 years.
I will never forget the night when we, like, right at the beginning of COVID, when we were like, well, I guess we're shutting down. We're going to be good citizens for a while.
Losers.
And, like, didn't know.
I don't remember being in that discussion, or even if I was, did I say yet? Like,
You led that discussion. It was hard to hear you with your mask on.
yeah, that's right. I
It's just
forgot.
weird times. Somehow we survived.
Somehow we managed.
Yeah, so Amy and I had a fun impromptu date night to the Pirates versus Rockies at the PNC Park, which is the most beautiful
It's
ballpark
so beautiful.
in the whole league, but it's our best park and best sports arena in town. Like,
Yeah.
it's just everything
It's
about
amazing.
it is great.
Well, I've been there a bunch of times, not recently, but every time I go, I sit there and I go, I can't believe this is Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 'cause-
like it's a completely different feel.
Well, and it has the old school ballpark feel. It has a timeless feel. Like
Yeah.
it looks like it's never going to look bad.
I agree.
Which-
I hope they never change it.
Yeah, because like man, they
I hope they
nailed
get more
it.
people to fill it.
I know.
That'd be good.
That'd
man.
be nice. What a streak they're on now.
Oh, come on.
Oh, they've only lost 2 in a row.
We saw the game we went to, and we had so much fun. We like
You were
know,
at the good one.
Yeah, yeah.
The win.
And-
the
yeah,
one win in the
win.
last 10 games.
Yeah, it's been tough. But it was just so fun going with Amy, and she was just so happy and so proud of me. Because I got these through work, and,
That's an important
and it was awesome.
That's an
I just
important
felt
thing to
like
add
I was
to
like,
the-
yeah,
to
and
the story.
and
Because she's proud that you bought tickets. That wouldn't have been very.
right.
Yeah, but the work part makes it pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're a big wig in a box.
Yeah. And that was fun.
Wait, a box like the rooms? Or,
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
no.
fully
yeah.
catered.
We finally figured it out, the name of it. You were on suite level.
Yeah, sweet level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer in the fridge.
Those were great.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow, beer in the fridge. That's because you can get in a box, but there ain't no beer in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the stock box.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good.
You got the stock box.
And if you never mind.
And I was talking to Brian before the show started, and I shared with him like I've been having a tough time being a dad and having patience with Maggie. Like she's probably the one person in my life that I get the most impatient with very quickly, and
Sure.
she's 4, and
on many
she
levels,
knows how to
sure.
push your buttons.
Right.
But Jay, you've been telling us to spend quiet time with God, and on top of getting healthier and stronger, the other one is like you need to be more patient with her. You need to fill her
I
tank.
hate it when they convict me. When God convicts me.
Well, and the thing is, yeah, it's totally right, and he's not even asking for that much more of me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's not like he's asking for the world. It's like, hey, dummy, get off your phone and watch your daughter go down the slide. Be in the moment. She wants you to be a monster at the playground. Be a monster at the playground. That kind of stuff. So,
I hate it when he says, "Do you know how patient I've been with you?"
Oh, and I said that to Brian. I was like, I know he's had so much patience with me. I'm like, I can't
On the
say
other
anything.
hand, he is God.
Right?
Can
That's
you
true.
be a tenth of the father he is?
No.
Big shoes. Big shoes to fill.
Big shoes, but I've had some good times with her lately, and that's been awesome. And having that impromptu date night with Amy was so much fun. And then coming off of last weekend, if you guys remember last week, coming off what was supposed to be a nice weekend away, Sans Mags was not
Fire alarm, little fire alarm, never hurt anybody.
Well, because the other nice thing was Maggie stayed over at my parents' on Monday night for the game, so we came home to quiet house, and we slept in the next day. So it was great.
I love the fact that you're like, I've just spent so much more time with Maggie, and it's been so great. We just completely got rid of her, and it was the best night of
Yeah,
the
it was the
week.
best thing I've ever
So
done.
great coming home, and she wasn't here. I didn't have to listen to her mouth.
It's true.
Quick side note, talking about beautiful Pittsburgh stadiums. I mean, and PNC Park is in a class by itself. But have you guys heard they're already talking about the rumors of what's coming after Acrisure, with formerly Heinz Field?
Because it's a dump.
Yeah, that's because they spent no money on it to begin with. They have all this budget.
So you're serious though?
No, but it's a garbage stadium.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never had that.
Nobody likes it.
It's horrible.
Well, you know what?
He never
Have you
should
ever been
take-
there?
Tough junk, man. We spent enough on that. They need to
did
figure
we?
out. I did. I think. I don't know. I guess not. I wasn't really paying taxes then, but come on. Just okay, so what's the word?
Remodel.
Remodel a little bit.
Renovate.
Yeah. Renovate. That's the
Yeah.
word I was thinking of.
It's a glorified.
high school stadium.
Yeah, I was gonna say college, and then I was like, high school might be too harsh, but no.
All right. We'll have to have a more. We don't have to do it, on the podcast.
Yeah, this one's
I'm curious.
pretty
Have you been to other stadiums, like other football stadiums?
Nope. Actually, I have, but nothing newer. Like nothing newish. I was at a couple Buffalo Bill games at the old Rich
Yeah.
Stadium.
It was kind of cool.
Baylor
Yeah,
Stadium.
the bowl.
Baylor's college stadium is nicer than Heinz Field.
Wow.
And actually-
I see. I guess I have no authority on the matter. I just never had a problem with it.
And they're building one for Buffalo.
They
I thought
don't
they already
spend.
had
They
a new
don't
one.
spend
They don't?
any
Yeah,
money.
okay.
They don't spend any money. They have a dog catching frisbee for a halftime show.
And then you
if you're
see-
not even going to do that, just get a high school band, make their day,
yeah.
and have them
Right.
do a show.
Yeah.
That would make anybody's.
It doesn't
any
have
high
to
school
be
band
Jerry
stays.
World. You don't need a $5 billion
That
one.
SoFi
Right.
Stadium, I was gonna
Well,
say in LA, I mean, they have like an oasis out front
Yeah.
with Paul.
And that's what I dread. I don't
Can't
going
see us doing
overboard.
that. Can you? I mean,
No.
I would rather. Can't they build the football equivalent of PNC Park?
You would like
that
to
is
think
just
so,
That's what I want.
classic, and
Dude.
you just want to keep it forever.
Their new jumbotron at PNC Park is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is.
You were saying the
It is
HD,
HD
yeah.
crisp. It's like watching your TV in your living room. Only it's
do you want to play Call of Duty on it?
I do. I would play all kinds of stuff on that thing. It was awesome.
That's good. Oh, thank you for informing me on all of that.
I remember back in the day when Three River Stadium still existed.
The
and the
ashtray.
great Sophie Maslow
Oh yeah.
suggested building 2 new stadiums, and everybody's like, that old Jew lady. She was the old
laid into
senior
her.
citizen mayor of
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Wouldn't you know it? I always wanted them to build the baseball park in the point.
Oh yeah.
Like have the point be home plate.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
I got shouted down. They actually talked about it though. Like it wasn't.
I mean, how
because
could you not? It's naturally in the shape of it.
But it's a national park.
yeah, it's yeah.
There's ways around that.
Pitt.
Yeah.
Now it'd be a national ballpark.
That's you asked me if I'd been to other stadiums,
Yeah.
and the answer, besides in Buffalo, Three Rivers. I've been to several games back in the day in Three Rivers. That place was a dump.
That place was the best play.
That's what I'm comparing Heinz Field to, and like
But you can make the argument.
New
It
doesn't
was
make
better for football. Baseball, it was a dump.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But
the
for
AstroTurf,
football-
though.
Wow, they could have put grass in.
but you weren't really like, I don't know.
They never should have
the
torn
shape was
down
horrible.
Pitt Stadium.
There you go. Hey, I'm going to switch gears, give you my little update. So last week I was talking about the frustrations of work. Today I'm going to talk about the something happy. So
I thought you were going to go, the frustrations of home.
no. There's no frustrations at home. Yeah. So we have a wonderful little baby kitty named JoBelle, as you gentlemen know, and some people out there know. We got her in Ocracoke almost 2 years ago. So she has started having some little adventures that we just recently, like this past week, became aware of as the weather has warmed up and finally dried up for a few days here and there. So we had our screens on our screen and porch replaced over the winter, or in the fall, and over the winter, I don't know, some of the staples came loose or whatever. I really don't think she did it, but like in one corner, we discovered there was like a little flap open, and we're like, oh, we're gonna have to get that fixed once the weather gets better. So the other part of the story is we wanted our cats to have access to the screen and porch so they could be, have a little fresh air or whatever. So last year we put a little cat door in our porch door. And we have now discovered, actually, I think it was probably Ben that discovered it first. He came home, he's outside. What a good boy. He started right in on the chores. He's working in the backyard, helping clean things up and whatever. And he glances back and, well, there's JoBelle, just sitting in the middle of the backyard. She had gotten, figured out through the screen, onto our little garage roof, onto the fence, down to the patio, and out. So now she's getting brave, and we like.
And this was obviously not the first time she's done this, right?
Right. Apparently, she's
Yeah.
played around with the idea before. I guess, I don't know. But
Ben looks over at her, and she just brings her paw up to her lips.
Slashes her throat, like the slash and throat motion.
Pointing her paws right at him, watching you.
oh my gosh. So I, dutifully,
Switchblade. Where did she get that?
I stapled the screens back up, at least temporarily, to until I can get them fixed right. Now, like 20 minutes later, she had like pulled it back down and was gone again. So I think we're gonna embrace it. We're
Be an
gonna
indoor, outdoor cat?
fix it up. Yeah, she can.
Does she have her claws?
Yes,
Ah,
she has. She's vaccinated. She's all Hey,
Yeah, she's got her shots.
she's got her shots.
Yeah. Do you have her chipped?
We got her the COVID shot, Pfizer, I think.
Yeah.
So she's good to go.
Do you have her chipped?
Yes, we do have her chipped. So yes.
And you have a tag on her?
We do not have a physical tag yet. We're going to get her.
Yeah, you should do that.
So, but yeah, we're just going to put like a second cat door, like on one side of the screen porch, so she can like creep out, sneak out her way and come back in. And I don't know.
Exciting times.
I thought you were going
I
to
think it's
explain
cool.
to her, like, please stop ruining the screen. Use this door.
Oh, we're going to show her. What? You got trainer.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. She keeps on making holes. Like, you make it real nice. And she just
Oh my gosh.
You put that second door in, she like punches a hole in the wall right next to it.
She boards up the hole. She's like, you don't want someone coming from the outside into this place.
Puts a post-it
Idiot.
Puts a post-it note on it. F you guys.
In her mind, she's like protecting you guys from everything that's out there. You're just making more and more holes.
That's right.
Idiots.
She's like, come on. I can only do so much.
Marilyn Plushkowski, the general's wife, also known as Marilyn Plushkowski in her own identity. She said, congratulations, men. Thank you for 200 episodes. We are appreciated, she said.
oh man, thank you.
With a big red heart.
And she was an episode I don't remember the number, but thank you for being on and
Big episode.
helping to make this 200.
Indeed.
Why am I not included in that?
Because
My wife tells me I'm not a man.
men.
So
Speaking of cats, I had 2 great conversations with my children today. Has nothing to do with cats. The first one, it was interesting in that it wasn't a lot of comfort. It was a lot of perspective. And Bella was just, struggling. She got snubbed by the Gene Kellys.
Oh, those came out today?
That's the award for musicals.
Yeah,
It came
the
out.
nomination.
No, Penn Hills received 0.
That's right.
Like
That's
not
right.
even set design, which is designed by Doug Hoffman, who is a Hollywood set designer.
And I know Gateway got a couple they also did Mamma Mia. So I know Ethan was a little like,
Right. And I mean, there's different things. And like Marilyn even pointed out, the male lead for, I think, Quaker Valley is like a CLO superstar. Like Marilyn said, best male voice she's heard in high school. Snubbed. So,
oh, really?
So you can do all the facts, logic, and reason you want. You still got snubbed.
Right.
Yeah,
And
still
then
hurts.
she sort of got snubbed from something else that she didn't really care about, but it was compounded. And I was able to just go into her bedroom this afternoon and talk with her. And I said, I started with the comfort. I get it. I hate to be snubbed, everything else. But then I said, look, this is so funny. I said, in the state playoff game for basketball, I said, our best player is Damar. I said, he scored over 25 points. I said, and he's the reason why we made it to the next round. I said, but at the end of that game, Kelsey, the kid from my volleyball team, the kid that was in the musical, I said, he got into the game and scored a basket with 30 seconds left. I said, you would have thought he was blind or had some other special needs, the way the crowd erupted. I said, louder than anything Damar did. I said, for Kelsey, it was the loudest applause possible.
Yeah.
I said, you have been so blessed. You've been given so much. I said, right now you have a vision problem. I said, because you don't see you the way I see you. Your mother sees you. Everybody who loves you sees you. And you sure don't see yourself the way God sees you. I said, but this is closer to reality. And I played for her the curtain call from the last musical performance. And it was so funny because she couldn't deny it. It's loud, louder, louder.
Right.
And then she comes out. And it was really cool because she relented for half a second. She'll be bitter again. She'll be angry. She'll be upset. She'll take her losses much heavier than she takes her wins. Like the wins just get her back to even.
Yeah.
But the losses take her way below. But for that one moment, like
the sunshine came out.
and she was just kind of like, yeah, you're right. Would you rather be the star all the time and then have a few snubs? Or would you rather just be a wallflower and not have anything?
Right.
Yeah.
And then Joe was getting his car worked on, and so we were over at Tommy and Jan's because they were so nice to let him borrow their car. And he and I got into the deepest conversation about emotional needs from plum to here. And he was talking about compounded hurts. And he said, like, when Trey died, okay, obviously that affected both he and Bella and in a very negative way and produced like a base level of anxiety. With Bella having such a terrible junior high experience in so many ways, he's like, I think the Trey dying set the anxiety. But then when she went through so much crap in junior high school, it was compounded. And he said, like, for himself, he has a high need for security. And he goes, and I think a lot of that comes from the Trey days as well. He goes, but now I have such a high need for acceptance because of my need for security. He's like, I got to know that we're okay when I make a mistake. Because I can't have things not be okay.
Yep.
And if it's my fault, and I said, bro, you need to talk to Eric about that. I said, he's all about that. And it was quiet for like 10 seconds. And I went, this is not what most 20-year-olds are talking about with their parents. Because it was so smart on his end, so introspective.
Yeah.
And he had, I'm going to take a few more minutes because you guys are going to love this. He finally had his first day working with Tommy Go Lightly today.
Oh, yeah.
Because he keeps calling, like Tommy keeps saying, no work today, no work today. A friend of mine, old Young Life guy, really just a friend of mine, but owns a gas line business and he needs work. So Joe's working for him. So Joe pulls up to his shop and the gate's closed. And he's like, oh, crap. He called off. He's going to tell me there's no work. And he's like, no, my guy's going to be there in a few minutes. He'll let you in. So 10 minutes later, he calls Joe back and he goes, listen, he's not coming in. I'm going to be by. He goes, you can drive my dump truck and follow me to the job site.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
So Joe goes, well, all right. My mom would definitely tell me no. Everybody else in my life would say I should do it. I'm going to go with what they say. And so he told Tommy, he goes, if it's a stick, I can't drive it. And if I need a CDL license, I can't drive it. He's like, no, you're fine. So they drive to Glenshaw. So down 28, everything else.
Oh, my God.
He goes, first 15 minutes, I was a wreck. He goes, but after that, I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah.
And so he's at the job site. There's other people there, just Tommy and him from that company. And he goes, lunchtime. He goes, one of these other guys, like, I guess mom shows up in a Nirvana t-shirt, but she's this old Italian lady, and she'd made meatballs. He goes, Dad, best meatball sub I have ever had in my life. And I was like, this is exactly why I wanted you to have this job. You're eating meatball subs on the job site. And the one guy, they couldn't remember his name, so they kept calling him Junior, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because that's what we called him in his first 5 years of life. And the one guy said, how you get this job? And he goes, oh, my dad knows Tom. And then from the excavator with it on, Tom yells out, hey, his dad's my life coach. You better watch your mouth. So it's just
That's
that's
awesome.
a
Amazing.
great
I can't
first
believe
day.
JoJo driving a dump truck.
A dump truck on 28 across the Highland Park Bridge.
Oh, my gosh.
And I did hear there was a really terrible accident with a motorcycle on the Veterans Bridge, and like where 28 goes onto the Veterans Bridge, and I was like, oh no,
Oh, no.
no, he wouldn't have been down there.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
I imagine Joe driving a dump truck is like Kramer driving the back end of the fire engine on Seinfeld.
That is true.
I love it. So fun.
I was thinking more like when he had to step in for the bus driver.
Oh, on the tour?
You kept making the stops and kept ringing the bell. So sorry for taking so long there, but
That's okay.
That's awesome.
So we mentioned Marilyn.
Yeah,
and
Marilyn.
She's sat at the table with us, and we also have lots of other people that sit at the table with us on a regular basis. And we wanted to just talk about those people and celebrate and recognize those people on our 200th episode. So that would be the segue for you, Jay. Wasn't that good?
my first question is our guy P. Dickey. Not question, but I want to bring up P. Dickey.
Yeah.
Did we or did we not have P. Dickey in here and live at the table?
I
Don't believe
was
so.
not here if we did.
I don't believe so.
Me neither.
Did you think we did?
I thought for sure we did. So much so that twice I went back and looked through every episode. Maybe because he's so vulgar, they scrubbed it off of YouTube or Facebook or something.
The only time
And
that
from
I've
our
met
memories.
him is at once at 9 o'clock at church.
All right. Well, then for sure we better lead off with our guy, P. Dickey, who is in the absolute middle of nowhere, Montgomery County.
I like to call him Saint P because
Really?
I don't. It's the first time I ever did it.
Thought so.
But I mean, yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but his story's incredible.
I mean, one of the 5 poorest counties in West Virginia, nay, in the United
The
States.
world.
Yeah.
The kids down there go hunting for ginseng
Really?
to sell.
Really?
I think
Well,
it's
that's an interesting
ginseng. Or is
fact.
it gypsum? It's a J.
Well, I mean, they both
Jif peanut butter?
could be valuable. I mean, gypsum is a nice rock,
I think it's
and
ginseng.
ginseng is a plant.
I think it's
Are they sure it's not weed?
Ginseng is.
Oh, they've got a lot of that.
Hey,
down
we call it ginseng
I'd
down
be
here.
surprised if ginseng grows in West Virginia. Isn't it like an Asian?
There's a bluegrass song called Ginseng Sullivan. So
Okay.
there you
Well,
go.
maybe,
That's all
yeah.
the proof you need
That's
to know
all
that
that-
ginseng grows.
But
what I was
he's on
looking
Young
for.
Life staff down there, and I know that he's talked about sitting at the table with people down there, and it's just one of my favorite things is he went down there, and everybody's like, "Oh, so when are you leaving?" And he's like, "Listen, I sold my house. Like I bought a house down here. I'm not leaving. Like because they're kind of used to missionaries coming down, do a
Right.
little something, whatever else." And old boy did, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Now, where's he from originally?
Franklin Regional.
Okay.
Ever heard of it? The home of Amy Raymond and Kim Clemens,
Uh-huh.
who we talked about last week. But now, is he connected to Patton?
Yes. Not sure the exact connection, but I know Patton, either they went to the same church or Patton was in the Young Life program. And I believe Patton has been a leader in that program. At some
Not
point.
Patton Oswalt. No.
Is Patton up in Newcastle? Is that your friend in Newcastle?
No.
Okay.
No, Patton is a 3DR guy. And
What's 3DR for those who
3-day respawn? It's a gaming ministry.
a safe and secure gaming ministry.
But Pat and I still talk frequently. He's not down there anymore. He got a new job at the Volvo plant. I'm trying to remember where it is.
New Martinsville,
I think it's still in West Virginia, but he's not down where P. Dickey is
not
anymore.
in the holler.
Yeah.
Well, but I love that he was working security at some plant or whatever, and so there he was in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night,
Nowhere.
hanging out with Lunchtime in Rome.
Yeah. That was the best. He would, messaging us and telling us that he's, that was awesome.
There was somebody, and this may be another topic for us to do at some point, but I remember you talking about somebody that always listens while they vacuum. Do you remember what I'm...
Is that Trixie?
They always listen.
Jeannie Delancey. Jeannie Delancey.
So
Jeannie
I
Delancey.
love that. Like,
Pissed if I said her name on the air.
but I like that idea of who sits at the table on a weekly basis, and then what do you do when you sit at the table? Are you driving? We may have done this before.
No,
but,
we definitely haven't.
But that'd be cool. Like, if you're a regular listener, maybe you can email us or chime in on all the different ways that you can. Tell us what you do while you're listening, because I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's their car, like my sister Kathy. It's like her car time.
Yeah.
When she's, because her church is like 25 minutes from her house. And so she gets 25-minute segments.
Yeah.
She was one of the ones that gave me one of the best compliments. She said that it just feels like I'm sitting there with you.
Yeah.
And I want to catch up on my friends. And I'm like, that's all we've ever wanted.
Yeah,
that's
Just
awesome.
for you feel like, okay, you're hanging out with us. You're sitting here. You're part of, what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Another person, like I love the random people. I love everybody, but I love the random people who sit at the table with us. And another one of those is up until today only known as Breaking 90.
Yeah.
And we know him because Eric and I listen to a podcast called No Agenda. It's a little fledgling podcast. And he had posted something on their social media page, Eric did, about our podcast. And then out of the blue, this dude starts commenting on our stuff. Turns out, name's Paul. And we've developed a friendship. And he lives in Nebraska, I believe. And I just absolutely love. We'll DM each other on Twitter, and he asks great questions, and it's exactly what we talked about. Like, if we hadn't done this, we wouldn't know who Paul is.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have asked the questions. We wouldn't, he's had terrible losses in the past year, and so we've been able to talk through that a little bit, and just very blessed to have people that we would have never met in a million years
That is so cool.
sit with us at the table.
Yeah. The
each week.
randoms is fun. That's so cool.
I love how he says that his handle's breaking 90 because he's consistently trying to break 90 in Balf.
Yes.
Now, where did he get the term Balf?
Balf.
Exactly. From sitting at the table.
I was going to ask
That's
if
right.
that. That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially because he put it in quotes.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's like a stud move there. He's
Yeah.
like, I listen. I listen.
That is, yeah. How about? Well, we already mentioned Amy Raymond, so we can.
We can just skip over
No,
her.
that's not what I meant. I meant we've already introduced her and we talked about her last week, but she is, especially I think recently, one of the most consistent. She's at the table at times when we're not at the table. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like she is.
Yeah, I'll be randomly working here, and she just shows up.
But she brings treats, so
Yeah,
it's like,
that's all
sweet,
good.
hey, welcome.
No, I mean she's doing a lot of behind the scenes things for us. Is I guess what I meant.
Well, to this point, she's nearly one of us.
Yeah,
she's,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She's part of the show.
There's no levels, but she's a level above the others.
We mentioned Marilyn, right?
We did.
And we kind
That
of
was my awesome segue. You don't remember?
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of Marilyn, she has listened.
Well, she's potentially the only one that's on with us right now. Although
Double
it does say
bonus
we
points.
have two.
And
so I don't know who the
for
other.
those of you that don't know, we do live stream this, and so if this
a
is
good
our
call.
first revelation for you, even though we read it or talk about it in the very beginning, every single week you can jump on to lunchtimeinrome.com on YouTube. I mean youtube.com/lunchtime in Rome. You can find our stream and you can comment live with us. So we would encourage you to do that because it does make the experience overall feel like you're literally sitting here at the table with us.
Yeah.
Even if, you're virtual.
And I hate to be that guy, but if you could like and subscribe, it really does help. So please subscribe.
Everybody on YouTube says that.
Everybody does.
It's gotta be
because
true.
It does make a difference. And I would definitely really appreciate that. But yeah, Marilyn and Bob, the general.
Yeah, does Bob listen with Marilyn?
With Marilyn, yes.
Okay, so they do this together.
To
That
Marilyn,
was-
no. Boom.
You need to do whatever the other sign is for when you want to clip that for a YouTube short right there.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know that Bob listens apart from Mary Lynn, but I do know that Mary Lynn listens apart from Bob.
Oh, okay. All
If
right.
that makes any sense.
Yes.
And now that she lives in town, because when Mary Lynn just commented, fact.
I was curious if they actually purposefully might listen together.
Sit down
And
together,
I'm curious
hold hands,
if
pray,
we have a
listen.
couple other couples
Light a
on
candle.
our list, like Duke and Lydia, who we also mentioned last week. I'm curious if they. I think Duke probably listens on his own, but I get that feeling because he's always commenting. But it might not be true.
I think
Maybe
sometimes
they listen together.
I think sometimes they watch together live.
Okay.
Other times, I think he might listen at work, things like that.
Could be a cool thing for couples to do because I know when Amy and I go back and listen to.
No, I'm
to
laughing.
stuff.
No, Eric just looked. I'm laughing it would be a cool thing for couples to do. Can you imagine? Hey, honey, let's sit down and listen to a podcast together every week.
She's like, is it 1930?
What are you talking about? That is cool. I would do it.
Well, Lex
and
and-
Duke
Lex and I-
said you're cool, Chris.
That's right. Duke did say, listen, Duke said it. But Amy and I do when we're traveling. That
Right
is-
now, that
Okay.
I get.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
But
in the car, yeah.
Yeah. I
'Cause
mean,
Amy and I-
obviously you're contained and it's easier, but I appreciate listening back more when she's there and we can discuss things and I don't know.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just a fun time.
Yeah,
That's
for a
all.
car, we're not going to sit in the living room and do it, but but yeah, in the car, we'll specifically won't listen to episodes of shows that we, share, so we can listen to them together. We
Yeah,
did that
yeah,
on
yeah.
when we went up to Erie. We did that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because we don't. Well, if we're driving and Rachel doesn't listen to podcasts
Right.
at all,
Right.
ever,
Right.
zero, and so she has to rank the ones that she'll listen to of mine
Yeah.
because
She has to be somewhat
You
interested.
listen,
I'm a grown
you
ass-
listen to a lot of podcasts.
I'm a grown ass man, and so I listen to what I want. But I
Yeah.
want her. I feel even more alone in the car. When
Yeah.
everybody else is supposed to be staying awake to keep the driver awake,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they don't.
yeah.
Or if they get into their phone, and I'm like, all right, you're gonna be on your phone. I'm gonna turn on my podcast.
Absolutely.
But I still want you to listen. You're like, did you hear that? I'm like, no. I'm like, all right.
So what does she do in the car? If it's just you guys on one of your trips,
We'll listen to music mostly, but if we put on a podcast, if it's just the two of us, she'll be engaged and it's fine. She doesn't go to sleep
Yeah,
or
yeah.
go into
on
her
a,
phone.
but on a family
Right.
trip. Well,
Oh,
does
she's
she
in the back
read?
seat. What?
Does she read in the car?
Yeah, if it's a big trip, but
Yeah.
she'll let Joe sit in the front seat or Bella, and she goes in the back seat because she gets less anxious.
Do you read while you're driving?
Always,
Nice.
always.
We have Phyllis, my Aunt Phil.
yeah.
Oh, Aunt Phil.
It was one of our biggest losses when we went.
When we went from Facebook to YouTube.
Yes, she never
She would-
comments anymore. I'm
Well,
so sad.
her comment was so on Facebook it would show Phyllis Johnson or Feeney, however she goes by on Facebook.
Phyllis Feeney.
And then she would chime in Phyllis Feeney, she would write her name again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To say that she was
That's
here.
great.
Phyllis Feeney Johnson is
taking
here.
attendance.
Yes, she would always announce her attendance. Roll call. Her presence, not
Present.
her attendance.
So on that subject, though, and we just did this at church. Eric, is there any possibility we can dual stream?
I was going to bring this up at our next meeting. Since we don't have the website cost that we used to and the podcast hosting cost that we used to, we could invest that in that. We could talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, we did have a podcast meeting on air.
We did.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That was episode 1.
That's one of our
Something.
most well listened to ones.
Is it
serious?
really?
I have no idea.
I knew it wasn't. Actually, I didn't know that it wasn't. I knew daggum well you didn't know. Remember the one Christmas or whatever, or the one New Year's, or maybe it was after the 1 year anniversary, whatever it was. I did a year in statistics. And you're like, how
yeah.
did you get that stuff? I'm like, I made it all up.
We also have my mom, Sally. She
Yeah.
definitely listens, and my dad, Ron. They do listen regularly. In fact, when we're not on or my mom can't find it on YouTube, she'll text me and said, "No pod last night."
Aw.
So,
You know what? I get that too sometimes.
yeah, from your mom.
No, from yours.
That could be a podcast in and of itself. Because, like, your mom will text me questions about the musical, and I'm like, your grandson is in the musical. Like, why are you coming to me and Rachel when you could be doing that? It's very resourceful.
Yeah.
And she used to be one of our most frequent live listeners too. I know her schedule, her evenings have changed a little bit and whatnot because
I don't think she can find that on YouTube either.
We need to get back to Facebook.
She does go to bed early. It becomes too late for her.
Right, but she
listens the day after.
She commented, she's like, I always listen.
Marilyn said Bob and I listen together when we travel.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a good time.
We did talk about Duke and Liddy, I believe. We talked about them a good bit last week.
Right, I mentioned them real
the
quick,
best.
but
yeah, they're the best.
And they're also of the substitute host table.
They're very
level.
much part of the team. Dave Shire.
We need to take
Two
a minute on
references.
Shire.
Two references to him in 2 days because you referenced him last night.
Tuesday night.
And
Tuesday.
then-
Yeah. Actually, Joe did.
Okay.
Because Joe said Shire will if he's in town, he'll just show up on Tuesday night. He won't tell anybody.
You don't know he's in town.
Yeah, you don't know he's in town, and he'll just be there, which is a great move. I think that's a great
That's what
move.
Tuesday night is,
move.
man.
That's right.
Stop in.
Yeah.
But, I want to give all the props in the world. That dude's a fighter. I mean, that kid has been chasing his dream. Kid, 40 years old at this point. No, I'm just kidding. He's 30.
30-something. I don't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, he plugged and chugged to get where he is, and he's now back up at Portland State.
I don't know.
Out of Arizona. Shire, I apologize, buddy. I mean, I pray for you every day. Just not knowing where you are. But, working in colleges, and, I'm just a big fan.
Yeah.
He works hard. He listens. He grows.
Last time I
Mustache.
heard he was up in Portland.
Right.
I don't know if that's still the case.
Did it go Portland, Arizona State?
I think he went Arizona, Portland.
All right. Well, then,
Shire, give us an update, buddy. Right into the show.
Prove it. Prove it you listen every week. Let us know. But I like even some of our younger folks that we've stumbled across. It started with, Ethan and Bella's friends like, Rory and Zach, Talia, and, and they're like, some of them stumbled across it. They're like, wait, your dad has a, and then, but like they listen quite regularly. And I think one of the things that's sort of stopped us is like Bella's even said, like, we should just have, like they had ladies' night.
It would be so much fun to have the musical group, whatever we want to call them on. That would be amazing.
Have like
and we should do it
young
before the end of
people night.
summer. Yeah, we should do it before the end of the summer. Earlier the better, because they're all going to be going their separate ways.
I don't even know, but there's so many of them. Like, we have a raffle.
We'll do a raffle.
Or like the rest can sit over there and they keep swallowing. It'll be a terrible listen, but because
They'll
who's
be
on the mic.
They'll be loud enough that you'll be able to hear them in the background.
Right.
I think it just
It'll be
shout
like the
ideas
studio
over.
audience.
Yeah.
But even like some of Ethan's buddies, guys who used to play volleyball they still play volleyball. They used to play for me. I know that Cameron and Hunter have talked about it. And that really means the world to us because that means both young and very not young sit at the table with us each week.
There's
and it
a
applies to everybody.
Wide range of relatability.
Yeah.
Trixie and Malcolm.
I think we should out them. Should we out them tonight?
That's
your
up to
call.
you, dude. That's your call.
Well, because
Did she
if
request
somebody
to not,
really wants to know, they'll then be able to go back in retrospect and hear confidential information.
I know.
Oh, look at the gleam in your eye.
I want
There
to
is a
make them.
gleam.
They'd have to go back and listen to our view count. Will go through the ceiling because there's gonna be one more view for every episode. They're gonna have to go now. They're gonna have to go back through 199 episodes to find out who Trixie and Malcolm are.
It's up to you.
I haven't cleared it. I'm going to keep confidentiality where it is. So, but Trixie and Malcolm, we tip the hat to you. I do know this for a fact. They listen separately, but then we'll talk about the episodes together.
Yeah. Nice.
Which, given the caliber of people that they are, though vastly different, it means the world to me that they both take the time to sit at the table with us and to learn and to apply it to their lives. I think now's the time where we bring up the person that we're worried about.
Yes. We're putting out an APB right now. Josh,
Josh.
where are you, buddy?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Josh. Josh, in
He
the
was
early
solid
days,
for a year and a half.
we would go live. Josh Hughes.
Right there. Every week.
He was the original Phyllis Feeney Johnson.
That's what they called him.
Yep. But he is a new dad.
No way.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I don't think I did.
Oh, baby's got to be 9 months, 6 months, 2 years. I don't know.
So that's exactly when he stopped listening.
Pray for him every day.
Who else would know? Who else would know? We haven't heard from him.
Oh, that's true.
Come on, Joe.
Dude, you had a little bit of guilt in there. That was
I
nice.
did. I'm good. I can do
You
guilt.
can tap into
I
it.
can do good.
Yeah. But no, they're doing real well. I mean, I follow them now on Facebook, text about, I don't know, maybe every 6 months. But yeah, Josh, a big fan of him listening in and sitting with us at the table. We hope he still checks in every once in a while. But yeah, we do miss him.
What about Jared?
Jared.
We don't know if he listens all the time, but
He listens a lot.
Well, and he was chiming in on YouTube a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he has a new alias.
Yeah, he has a new alias.
We
so
weren't even sure it was
Oh,
him.
that's right.
Even if-
Jason Frank.
Jay.
Or Jay, just Jay. or
Even if he
something, yeah.
doesn't listen all the time, he chimed in on YouTube. So I feel like
Bonus
he should
points.
get props for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I want to bring up Paulette Albrecht. She's commented a couple times. There's somebody else we forgot. I'll bring up in a second. But she graduated with me. We knew each other. We weren't close friends, but we weren't certainly enemies of any sorts. And I've said this before. You follow her on Facebook. There's nobody who tells it like it is more than Paulette. I mean, she says everything I've ever wanted to say, but I go, well, I can't type that.
Right.
You know, but I mean, a fierce and loyal friend.
Yeah.
I mean, you mean the way Rachel is a mama bear with
Yeah.
her kids, like Paulette is a fierce friend and kind of represents our friends that listen that we don't know about. Because that's one of the things when we were putting this episode together, I was thinking about times where I have told people things and they go, yeah, I know. And I'm like, dude, I didn't tell you. And then they say, no, I heard it on the podcast.
Right. Yeah.
And it's almost like disturbing sometimes. Because you're like, oh, what else have I talked about on the podcast?
Right. Now, everywhere you go, you got to think through what you're going to say first.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of Paulette and glad that she sits at the table with us.
And I'll mention, again, people that you're not sure, like, oh, you listening? Max's so our buddy Max, who also could be on this list because he's
frequent at the table.
Yeah, free.
Yeah.
He's been around here and here and there throughout the journey at the table, and his cousin or cousin-in-law. What did we say?
It's some family connection like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's his wife's cousin.
And
anyway,
friend.
James, our buddy James Bauman, who does fantasy football with us, and
Yep.
no, I didn't know he listened. Did you guys have any idea that he?
I didn't know he was frequent.
Okay, yeah. So he stopped over at my house to look at something the other day, and he made a comment that, first of all, told me that he listened to the podcast because he mentioned the podcast, and the comment was about my beard, and he was like, "Oh, you shaved your beard off," and he said, "Yeah, I saw that on the podcast,"
Aw.
and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool that that you were listening. That's." Great, and we moved on to other things, but I was just thinking about it later, and I was like, oh, that's nice he was listening. And then I realized, when's the last time I saw James? Fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
Fantasy football draft happens in August. Guess what I didn't have in August?
Beard.
A beard, which means the only time he saw me with a beard on the podcast.
My
Jigs over
man.
to-
Yeah, so he has been at least a multiple time listener, and I wanted to give him a shout out because that was really cool because you
That
just
is
don't
awesome.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
there's-
he's so soft-hearted. You could see how he would like a podcast like ours.
yeah, no,
If you only knew.
he's a chiseled dude.
Listeners.
He's a soft. He's got a soft spot in his
Those
heart.
chiseled guys are always softies. Jen Stickle, who co-owner of Sunflower Sprouts, which I talked about
cool.
last week, and her
Don't
and her husband
ever accept
Adam.
a hotel room from that chick, though.
Well, it's funny. She frequents the table, and the reason why she came to mind really quickly was because last week she had messaged me, and she put in quotes, "They're not sprouting anymore. They're just up." Because that was a quote from last week's
Yeah.
episode.
And you had no idea?
No, I was like, wait, what is she talking about? And then I got it, and then she messaged like I was smothering someone with a pillow.
Oh yes.
She was like, she said, you guys are hysterical, and she frequents the table as well.
Terrible transition would be Bethany Jaworski. because she is somebody that really loved and served us during the Trey days. And now she has 2 very sick children of her own.
Right.
And probably has way too much time, very often just taking turns, one, the other, both, being a children's hospital, but is just a great representation of a fighter who fights a good fight and loving and serving her children and in the battle for them and representing all that is good about parenting. And I mean, it's just long suffering, and we are so grateful to be any smidgen or part of her life.
Yeah.
And we're glad that, a lot of people sit at the table with us who aren't in good places.
Yeah.
And never hesitate to reach out to us.
Please.
And you have referenced their story before on here, and it's you talk about burdens. You think you wake up and have it difficult. What she goes through on a daily basis is pretty incredible.
Big shout out to anybody in there, like as Richie Reader. We talked about him last week, you know, in his ministry of pressing on. Like, I don't know, just to go back to looking out the window of Children's Hospital down to, what is it, 5th? There's a Penn. It's Penn Avenue.
Penn, yeah.
And you just see people walking by, and you're like, you have no idea.
Right.
Like, I would give anything to be able to leave this room right now and not be in here. Forget even the reason. Like, I'm being just straight selfish. Like, I don't like to stay in a room very long.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're out there having a miserable day, and yet you have no idea. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So any kind of love we can send anybody like that's way, we will always do, because you need it, and you're not alone. And so, yeah, hats off to you. Keep fighting the good fight.
I think it's important to note, too, like, I mean, obviously this is a podcast that's designed to be helpful, right? We want to help everyone be healthy emotionally. But, like, we're literally here to help. So, like, I feel like sometimes people listen to things, but they're hesitant to send a message or, reach out directly or whatever. But that's, like, that would be such a bonus for us. You know what I mean? Like,
An honor.
Maybe a bonus. Yeah, is the wrong word. An honor for us to be able to help directly. So if you are in need of, I don't know,
Comfort? Attention?
Keep going.
Respect, belonging.
Well, Trixie
Not
said
feeling
it,
alone?
Trixie said it great. You have to help me out here, Jay, but she hasn't like directly related to anybody that's on the
She
show.
said you've never had somebody on
Yeah.
who is in the same life circumstance as I am.
Yeah.
But every time you've had somebody on, I have identified with some part of them and been blessed by it.
Yeah. And we would love to hear from you and what your life circumstance is, and we would love to speak about it. And
Yeah,
talk about it.
we don't only want to teach you how to love. We're here to love you and get you through something.
Yeah.
And we
That's
mentioned a
maybe-
lot of people by name tonight, but
We have more?
like Trixie, your story could totally be anonymous. It's not like if that's a fear too. Like, we don't have to say anybody, your name at all.
At all.
Jess Calv, formerly Ski Hand,
Yes.
has been at the table. She's commented a lot about parenting as mother of twins. She have 3 kids?
Man, she talks about her kids so much, and I'm like, I can't keep track of
6.
them.
But new owner.
I
want to
say 3.
New owner of Mohans.
Yeah.
And is going to be the location of our first live recording of Lunchtime in Rome. We were shooting for episode 200, but we figured we wanted to build it up more. What'd you say? Maybe 250?
Yeah.
But
Well, that's 225.
That's so
Because 50
exciting.
is like another year. But
220,
we can make it.
221.
Whatever it
Whatever it
takes. Another 200.
yeah,
Well-
it's not as good of a number, but
Yeah.
it's still a number.
Significant.
We do 222. Triple 2.
222.
And Jess, it'd be great if you could bring some karaoke and trivia back to
Yeah, well, I asked her
Mohans.
about
She's
that.
working on it.
We need
She's working on it.
we need to make it happen that Mohans is an official sponsor of this podcast.
Mohans has the opportunity
Oh, there you go.
to become the first official sponsor
I would love to have
Lunchtime in
Jess on
Rome.
too. That
Brought to you by Mohans.
in Penn Hills. Mohans Chicken in Penn Hills.
it has such a nice ring to it.
It does. Rolls right
Shouldn't
off the
Jess
tongue.
be on sometime? Like,
She should
honestly,
be on. We've talked about it with her one time. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Speaking of moms,
We did.
Spoiler alert: next Wednesday, Emily Tappy will be joining us, and she is a mother of 2 or 3 kids, and She suffered. This is really just. Is an amazingly strong survivor of postpartum depression.
Oh yeah.
And she's taken a huge leap. Like, this is well outside of her comfort zone, but she's so passionate about it that she's willing to come and speak about it. So moms, spread the word to your other moms.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
she's going to share her struggle. And here, you ready for this? Rachel said, well, who's going to be on with her? And I said, well, just her. Why? She goes, you don't think there should be another mom in the room, not just you four lunkheads?
Lunkhead.
I added lunkheads, but that's what she was saying.
Well, I mean,
it
see
sounds like a
saying
Rachel.
that for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Especially
And I
about
said,
me.
honey, do you want to be on? And she was like, when? You want to wait a month? Bang, she's going to be on. But until that time, no.
And also, this week, this Sunday is Mother's Day. So just
that's
putting
timely.
that out there.
Wow.
Everybody remember that it's Mother's Day this week.
I appreciate every reminder.
Yeah.
And also reminder to be sensitive and caring to those who are not.
Correct.
But
That
wish they could
want
be.
to be mothers, yeah.
You know,
It's one of the hardest days.
oh, it's really gross.
That's the worst.
Well, I'm saying
I've
for,
lived that.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
agreeing.
Yeah.
No,
I've lived that, and it's
well,
horrible.
because there's the other end, and somebody like Rachel who has lost a child. You know, now for her, she's fine with it.
Right,
We
right.
got it. It's okay. But for others,
Right.
like, bleh.
And it goes back to that unhealed hurt or grief that it's if you haven't healed from that, and not to get into everything that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, don't do that.
Those are the days that if you haven't healed from that, and it's hard to heal, especially from a loss of a child, those are the moments that are gonna, every time they come up, it's gonna bring all of that back up.
Yeah. It's a great point. It's a great point because like you can literally say like, do you feel awful on Mother's Day because of you lost your mom, you can't be a mom. The reason why that is because you have past hurts. It's a great way of putting that.
Maybe you never had a mom. Maybe you arrived here miraculously.
And I've often heard, it said like Mother's Day can be a celebration of all women, right? Because they have a role in someone's life in a mother-like
And you know
way,
what, everybody
even if
who
they don't
doesn't-
know it. But I was going to say how that is, although that is true, it's not meeting someone where they are at all.
There isn't
No.
any
Yeah.
woman there who doesn't have children that goes, oh, I feel just as
Right.
good as everybody else
Exactly.
today.
Yeah.
Well, and Rachel, as a person who was raised without a mom, because her mom died when she was 6 weeks old, has the memories of in art class in elementary school being pulled out of class because they were making something for the moms.
Right.
Oh,
so isolate her even
Like,
more.
how about let's double down on the hurts? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Good
Woof.
times.
Also,
Man,
this,
we brought this podcast down.
well, this Sunday also happens to be Birthing People's Day. So,
Why?
Why? He's trying to recover from his mask. He's trying to be all hard now.
It's Birthing People's Day on
Speaking,
Sunday.
you know who would be? I can't even do it. The general. The general says congratulations. So we're excited about that as well.
Speaking of birthing people.
Salute to you,
Congratulations.
No, I don't know what that means.
Speaking
I'm
of
sorry.
chest feeders,
General. Oh my gosh.
We've also had Christina Mara. We mentioned her last week because she has been a guest on this podcast. And I don't know if she's still currently listening every single week.
we'll
but
find out.
Yeah, but for quite a while, she was a big part of the being here at the table, and again sat actually physically here at the table too.
I would be so happy and so full of anxiety if we get so many people like, you didn't mention me.
Oh,
You'd
Well,
be the
then
best worst
chime
feeling ever.
in.
Hey, I
Get
put
onto
it on-
YouTube.
I put
Right.
it on
Get on
our
our Facebook.
Facebook
true.
page
That's
2
true.
days ago.
That's
So-
true.
yeah.
That's
Pretty
true.
sure if we forgot about you, you haven't been here enough. But it's not too late.
We're not minimizing you at all. We love you at the table.
Exactly.
And
No.
and if we haven't mentioned you by name, this is the opportunity for you to jump on next week onto youtube.com/Lunchtime in Rome and start talking to us over
Or you
the
get-
internet.
And if you're close enough to us to be mad about it, text us. You probably have one of our numbers.
Yeah.
Like Becky Finoletto. We haven't mentioned her. She could give a shout out, but I'm mentioning her now. So that's cool. I know she's been with us from time to time here at the table.
I should mention, speaking of Mother's Day, my mom has listened to many episodes. I have no idea, honestly, if she's a current regular listener.
I mean, the people have listened when somebody's on that is attached to them.
Right.
So the questions, I mean, you're attached to your mother loosely, but I mean, besides you, like when Ben is on, she would listen.
Right.
You'd like to think she'd listen every day.
Yeah.
My mother, for that matter, my mother's probably listened to a couple. Maybe not.
Rachel.
Oh, you know what we should do? Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's a great transition. Let's spend just a minute, and let's celebrate the people that we know for dadgum sure have never listened to 1 minute of this podcast.
The entire Hammond family. No, that's not true.
No,
my brother's
your
tuned
brother's
in.
been in.
Yeah, he's tuned in live.
Karen?
I think they did it together. Yeah.
My brother.
Come on.
Not 1 millisecond. Jan used to sit at the table quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But no,
Not
definitely.
really.
No.
And that,
Gosh.
honestly, it surprises me.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Why?
Because
He doesn't need any of the emotional needs stuff.
If I called my
That's fair.
brother
That's
right
fair.
now and said, Tom, I am in Michigan. I need this, that, and the other thing. He would make 2 phone calls. He would know a guy. He would meet that need in a minute, and he'd be on the road to come pick me
Right.
up.
Yes.
Physical
He
needs.
ain't listening to this
Not,
podcast.
not emotional needs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like I don't
We
want
need to plan for that.
I don't
Yeah.
want to really call people.
Who are
Just
we
as
going to
people
yell
in
at?
my family we throw under the bus. I get it. That's good.
Yeah, you took the lead, so
I got no problem with it. My brother-in-law, not Bob, but Steve. He may with Kathy. I don't know.
what's Uncle Rick do? Does Uncle Rick listen?
And now he's watching NASCAR.
I would not have pictured him as a NASCAR guy.
Bro. He has like
Does he have a basement like full of NASCAR stuff?
basement. No, he's got a bedroom in his house. It's his TV room with his 70-inch TV and all his like the model NASCAR cars
Yeah.
and everything else. Huge NASCAR.
Bigger NASCAR fan or baseball fan?
Oh, wait, we're
NASCAR.
talking about Uncle Rick.
Uncle Rick.
Not Uncle Rich.
No.
Okay. Okay. That makes
Uncle Rich would not be allowed to buy model cars.
This makes way more sense.
Yes. No, Uncle Rick.
I would love to talk to him about NASCAR.
What about like Lydia and Mia? Do they sit at the
Do
table?
they frequent the table?
Yeah.
I will say.
Or Mike P?
No.
Nah, probably not.
No. Ooh. Matthew. I do not believe Matthew or his wife Riley would ever listen to maybe, but no, I don't think so. Hey, this is negative. Let's switch to positive. Moving forward, we have, like I said, Emily coming next week.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, I can't confirm, but we have a couple bigger names coming down the pipe. Always remember to
Tip your
refer
waiter.
anybody to us.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody else we forgot was Heather Houlihan. She is a very frequent person here at the table. And that's another whole topic we could do, but we won't. She asks great questions to me personally. Like, I love when somebody sits with us at the table and then pulls me aside and says, hey, listen, help me out with this situation.
Yeah.
Amy is very good at that. Raymond.
Heather's
And
not shy
Heather-
about like asking
No.
and saying what's on her mind. So
I
that's,
should mention Kate and Luke. They do frequent the table, but we didn't mention them last week. They've been on the
There's some
the
crossover.
show,
If we mentioned you last
but
week.
that sparked a thought in my mind because Kate will do that often. Like she'll ask me different emotional needs stuff, which is really cool.
I like challenging conversations like I had with Joe this evening, but I also love when somebody asks you a question, and I love that they're asking, but when the question is so elementary, and so then you answer it, and they're like, "Wow, I really missed that," and they're just like they're learning and they're growing, and it's like this. It reminds me that like people don't know this.
Yeah, I would be the worst if I didn't mention my wife because she listens every single week.
You would be.
You
in
need to
trouble.
mention that. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Oh,
did.
one of
What's
us
her name?
should've. That would have been
Well,
awesome.
and it's funny because I said the entire Hammond family, which she's a part of.
right.
Big part.
Yeah, big part.
What about her parents?
Stokes.
No.
No.
Her mom has listened to an episode, but because they've been in the car together, her and Amy, like Amy's put it on.
Right.
But Amy's listens every week.
Wow.
And if it's late, she'll say, "Where's the episode?"
Aw.
I will say that Bella listens to the drops every week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to remind people of. Just, we're a nice round number here, 200. It's late in the episode. You've all turned it off by now. But not everybody knows that what you hear at the very beginning is an actual clip from during the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But then if you stay till after we say goodbye, you'll hear all the clips, we call them drops, that we didn't use for the beginning one, and they're very often quite humorous.
Everything we think's funny.
Yeah. They're
Very-
taken out of context.
Very childish.
It's even
Yeah.
funnier.
Yeah.
When taken out of context, it's very funny.
And sometimes smashed together, but we never rearrange them.
Right. Right.
So they flow in context in order.
Yep.
I can't believe it. There it is, episode 200 complete. Please make sure to give us a like or follow on social media. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com, assuming that is
www.
/
3 W's. That's right.
.lunchtimeinrome.com. We're going to,
Smash like button.
yeah, it's up.
As always, our relational needs questionnaire is there. If you have not taken that yet, what are you doing?
What are you waiting for?
Take it. It will blow your mind. And if you took it over 6 months ago, take it again.
Yep.
As always, thanks for joining us at the table for Lunchtime in Rome.
See you next week.
Adios.
Thank you very much. Bye.